Practice your jabs a gazillion times. You practice your crosses a gazillion times. And even now, you know, after all this time of doing it, there is still so much room for improvement. I was getting questions on my supplement use. To be honest, I don't really use that much stuff that's outside the box. I take a light, sometimes non-caffeinated or taurine stuff. This one obviously does have it. Same with the creatine monohydrate, still one of the best in my opinion. I do love Fitargo. That's definitely something if you're doing high interval stuff, or honestly just any workout that impacts you so much that you have to replenish your carbs during a workout. I recommend Fitargo. It's phenomenal stuff. It really works and it really tastes good as well. Lastly, leucine, the most important amino acid that we have, preserves your muscles, and all that in combination into one little shaker. I'll put some more BCA and leucine in a separate cup that I'll sip throughout the workout. Same with the Fitargo, and I also make protein on the side, so I have multiple things that I can gradually drink during my workout, whilst not like pressuring my gastric system so much that I have to stop my workout or that it affects my workout. Ready to do this?
Yes. I'm ready.
Before we get started, we can just dive into a bag workout, a pat workout. We have to gradually get into them. First thing we do is obviously after we grab our gear, which in my case is I use Legend, which is a Dutch brand. I've got 14-ounce gloves. I use Venom and I use Hayabusa. Those are the three main brands that I personally use. We have to gradually get into our training. A lot of times when it's like boxing, kickboxing, or weightlifting, I see a lot of people just jumping into their workout. They'll get underneath the bar, hit the bar a few times and start racking weights. Any sane person, any person that's like a high-ranking athlete will tell you that the warming up will take up a good chunk of your workout. Warming up is important because it preps your body to do the actual load that you're about to give, a lot of pressure that you're about to give your body. I use a variety of things. I start out with like light exercise, like skip roping. A lot of people like to stretch out first. Personally, I like to warm up a little bit first. I gotta get my blood flow a little bit. So I'm gonna start with around 3 minutes of skip roping, jump roping. After that, I'll stretch. I'll use a foam roller. There's a little ball. We're gonna run through all these things right now. Before we get going as well, I'd like to give a shout out to Liam Harrison, who I follow online. He is probably one of my favorite Muay Thai fighters right now. Check him out. You can sign online for him as well. He's one of the people that I sign up to myself because I'm not a professional kickboxer, professional Muay Thai fighter. I am an enthusiast who's been involved in martial arts since he was a kid, but martial arts, just like anything, evolves. So you have to, keep up. I try to train twice a week, but if you're a high-ranking professional fighter, you obviously train between 4 and 8 times a week, if not more. With that being said, let's start and get into this workout. One of the more recent discoveries that I've done is the PSO. Is this thing, very simple device, but especially for people who, athletes who lift a lot in terms of like squats and deadlifts and anything that is more oriented to the lower side of the body, but also people who, do a lot of martial arts or strike a lot. This thing has become crucial in our workout simply because it digs so deep down in our hips that it releases a lot of stuff in my lower back, in my glutes, and thus making it a lot easier for me to actually have my workout. So before this, I used to get a lot of back problems, a lot of hip problems. I use this before my matches. I use this before all my workouts. It's a very simple device. You can pick it up. It's not expensive at all. But if you're looking for something to kind of like have that release in your lower back and help you get a little bit more loose, I recommend getting this thing. Again, it's the PSO Right, R-I-T-E. You just place your hips right here, and it does not feel good. And it won't ever feel good. You can elevate yourself and adjust the amount of pressure you want, but I recommend digging down real deep and really like dig in there, because it's a very hard part for your body to really hit. And obviously at the sight of the discomfort in my face right now, you can tell this is it's not pleasant, but at the same time, you're doing it because it's good for you. I usually lay around here for a good 30 to 60 seconds, and then I move gradually. I move down so that like it digs deeper into my hips and goes a little bit more towards my lower abdomen. It's very painful, so this is about, guessing, between 30 and 45 seconds. I'll slightly move down a little bit, reset myself. And every time I breathe, I try to relax my diaphragm and my abdomen and just kind of. Other than Liam Harrison, I like to give a shout out to Jeff Chan from MMA Shredded. I watch a lot of his workouts. I use a lot of his content in my own workout, especially when it comes down to the end of my workouts, or finishers, as you call them. I always go back to his routines because they're absolutely brutal. Again, you can sign up for these classes with them online. I highly recommend both Liam Harrison and Jeff Chan, simply because, in my opinion, they're two of the best around. If you're more looking for a more MMA oriented workout, Jeff Chan's your guy. If you're looking for strictly Muay Thai and technique training, I'd say go to Liam Harrison, but I personally do both. There's a lot of good content out online that's also even for free if you just want to, get a little taste of something. So again, shout out to Jeff Chan and Liam Harrison for making this workout happen and inspiring me to train better and improving my technique. On to the first segment. The first thing we'll do is we'll do light, I wouldn't even call it sparring, it's more like a little bit of mimicking. We'll both get on the gloves, me and my wife, and we'll just slowly start hitting each other on the gloves, on the pads. Nothing crazy, just for about 3 to 4 or 5 minutes. I usually just put up a song, and by the end of the song, we'll have like a good little blood flow. As you can tell, I'm also working out in a hoodie, especially in the beginning part of my workouts. I'd like to stay warm. Usually also wear compression shorts, but with Muay Thai kickboxing, I usually don't like that very much. Every once in a while, when it's a little colder, just by living here in Florida, I'll put them on. But for the most part, when it comes to martial arts training, I prefer to just have my shorts, my shin guards, or my ankle guards, and a hoodie. And usually once I start getting really warm, I'll take off the hoodie and have a shirt underneath. So let's get to it. For the next one, now that we're kind of like a little bit warmed up better and the blood's flowing, like I said, my warm-up takes at least 20-30 minutes before I'm really, ready to go. Right now, we're going to focus on some bag combinations. We're going to do 3 or 4 combinations on the bag that we're going to bring back to the pad. So first, we're going to trigger our brains into like knowing the combination, and then once we have the combination, we're going to switch over to pads and do it on the pads. Now, as you obviously might have seen, is that my wife is a lot smaller than me, so she gets to hit me harder. I don't get to hit her at all, obviously. But she's a good sport when we do hold the pads, and I don't obviously go full out. And it's just the pad work is more about technique when it comes to me, and it's more with strength and technique when it comes to her. So you'll see a slight difference there, because obviously I'm 250 pounds and my wife is 104 pounds, so I can't just, that's what we have this guy for. My workouts change every 3 to 4 weeks, even when my boxing and my kickboxing comes to it. Like, we'll do specific combinations for a couple weeks and switch it all up, and then sometimes I don't even use the heavy bag, and it's just literally hitting the power rack there just to get combinations and good technique in. And we might just only do pads, or we might do more conditioning workouts, just depending on how I'm feeling, where I need to go, what place I am, because at the end of it, all of this for me has to attribute to my professional wrestling. I do this for combinations, I do this for conditioning, coordination, and just to improve my general game, and especially a lot of like the in-ring stuff we do in professional wrestling or sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it, can very much come from here in terms of footwork and stuff like that. So if you look at me in the ring, you see a lot of my footwork actually comes from more martial arts kickboxing oriented grounds. Let's get into the first combination, which is a rather simple one. Again, like I said, I like to keep to the basics. Just throw your hands up. We're going to lead out with a jab. Lead up with a jab. Retract back in, coming with the cross. Retract back in, coming with the right low kick. So it's real simple, real basic. It's 1, 2, 3. Step right back. Usually I have my wife holding the back for me, because obviously the bag's going to go everywhere. But we can't and film and do combinations at the same time, so we're going to do a little bit of a swap here. So we're going to hit like around 10 of these, and then we're going to swap. One of the things that I love doing is setting up a cross and just hitting a cross. I think I can speak for everyone. Crosses are good punches. They're powerful, they're strong. You twist your entire body into them. There's a lot of weight behind them. So this second combination is a jab and a cross. Pull back another cross into a lever, into a hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. We're gonna do 5 to 10 again. A little disclaimer, obviously usually we do these things, continuously, and I'm a lot more gassed right now, but because I get to talk to you guys while I'm doing this, it might not seem as intense, but once you start sticking them all together, you keep going, you keep around 30 to 45 seconds of rest in between your combinations, you'll start feeling them soon, especially if it's like between 3 to 5 different combinations. So for this last one, it's a little bit more technical. Start, same as I almost start for the most part. Start with a jab, with a cross, pull back the cross, slip to the left, plant a hook with the left, and kick with the right. So now that we've done combinations on the bag, we're going to take one of those combinations and we're going to do it easily 50 to 100 times. I'm a big fan of repeating stuff. I mean, it sounds cliche, but it's that one thing that Bruce Lee once said. I don't fear the man who knows 1,000 kicks. I fear the man who practiced one kick 1,000 times. Same as in professional wrestling. You have to do something 1,000 times before you really get good at it. Same with this, you practice your jabs a gazillion times, you practice your crosses a gazillion times. And even now, after all this time of doing it, there is still so much room for improvement. That being said, I am not a professional fighter. I am a martial arts enthusiast, and kickboxing remained with me, not only as a professional wrestler, but as an athlete outside of being a pro wrestler. And because we got all these questions on my training, I figured, well, why not? We'll give you like a small little insight of how my training works. So right now we're gonna go to the pads. We're gonna pick one of the combinations that we did in the bag. Probably the last one with the slip, because that's, there's some technique involved, which is like difficult. And we're gonna go through it slowly, and then, do it a gazillion times until we get it right. Good. Yeah.
Disclaimer, I am not good at this, but I'm trying.
I'll do it like you. So don't worry about it. We're doing this relaxed. I already hit the F out of the bag. So for this last exercise, this last finisher, I like to just kind of give it all in the bag. Sometimes that means speed work for 3 minutes of 5 rounds. It can be minute up, minute down, and doing activities or say crunches and push-ups in between the rounds, going from the heavy bag onto the ground. And today we're gonna do something that is inspired by Jeff Chan from MMA Shredded. So if you wanna see the full extent of that workout, please go pay him a visit. What we'll do is we'll combine speed with strength. We're gonna go 10 seconds up, 10 seconds down, 10 seconds up, 10 seconds down until you've completed the full minute. After that, we'll switch it up. You have an X amount of seconds, 30 to 60 seconds break, and we're gonna focus on strength. For the first one, we're gonna focus on speed. We'll do outside low kick, body kick. So it's 1, 2. As fast as you can, try to maintain your technique. And then afterwards, after we did that for X amount of seconds, 10 seconds up, 10 seconds down, 10 seconds up, 10 seconds down. We're gonna switch it up to strength with rear body kicks and just power for 10 seconds up, 10 seconds down. We're gonna do that in total, because that's 1 round. We're gonna do that in a total of 3 rounds, meaning both sides. So when you switch it up, instead of outside body, I'll switch it up into low kick, body kick for speed, and then I'll switch up the power kick with the left liver or the left body, whatever you want to call it. Yes? All right, let's get to it.